Hey, what is going on, guys? Car Feed back again, bringing you guys another cool and exciting video. And previously I actually did another video on Citroen's luxury car brand, and the DS9 sedan is supposed to be a hybrid sedan that's going to be competing with the likes of Audi, Mercedes-Benz, and BMW. And today I want to talk about another exciting vehicle that is going to be announced at the Geneva Auto Show, and this time we have the DS Aerosport Lounge, which is essentially a bold electric SUV that is reportedly going to have 671 horsepower. And what really caught my eye was honestly the modern and futuristic look of the design, but also knowing a lot of the hype in North American markets has been around SUVs, so to see another player join the game to not only make an SUV that's supposed to have top of the line performance statistics, but then again it being fully electrified is even more so quite exciting. But then what also caught my eye is his design, and as you guys know, I'm a real fan of beautiful cars, as many of you are as well. So if you guys aren't really aware of the DS brand, just to give you guys a brief overview, DS is a premium automobile brand founded and developed by Citroën. DS was first announced at the beginning of 2009 by Citroën as a premium sub-brand of the company, applied to certain models and running in parallel with its mainstream brand. DS can be an abbreviation for different spirit or distinctive series, although the reference to the historical Citroën DS born by Flaminio Bertoni and André Lefebvre is evident as well. The name is also a play on words, as in French it's pronounced déesse, meaning goddess. The DS has been a standalone automobile marquee company since 2015 and since 2012 in China. So as I mentioned, the DS9 is going to be a new and redesigned and refreshed look of the sedan. And today we have some more exciting news about a beautiful looking SUV. So we're going to be getting more information and probably detailed footage of what it looks like. But from what I see in the actual pictures, I really like it. It reminds me of a little bit like a Range Rover, a mix between a Range Rover, a Volvo, and let's say a Jaguar F-Pace SUV. It has that sleek siding, lowers in the back, and a nice sharp edging at the back, which I particularly love. Additionally, the aerodynamic wheels that it seems to have is something that I've seen on the Teslas as well. I think this is a really good not only a way to improve efficiency and being more aerodynamic, but in my opinion they did add a cool touch in terms of the way they look. They look better than the bland version of these wheels that, let's say, the Tesla has. And in terms of the actual interior, we don't know much, but let's get into the actual segment of the video where we discussed more details that we actually know. So as I mentioned, DS Automobiles had a strong start of the week with the unveiling of its DS9 flagship model sedan, and now is doubling down on its Geneva reveals with the introduction of the Aerosport Lounge. And while the luxury sedan will go into production, this radically styled coupe-style SUV mashup is only a concept signaling the brand's EV ambitions. The vehicle demands your attention not only thanks to its sleek design, but also due to its sheer size, as the concept measures 5 meters and 196 inches in length to be precise. And again, as I mentioned, it's just a prototype as of now and just a concept, mainly or particularly for DS and Citroën to sort of gauge what the level of interest is going to be with this car at the auto show. And then as they sort of do more feasibility studies and see if it's actually worthwhile for them financially and as a brand to go this way, I think it's going to be a pretty good option for them. If you guys haven't watched my video on the BMW iX3. It's essentially BMW's X3 SUV, electrified. It's a concept, but I think we've been seeing some updates and things of that nature. It's gonna be becoming a reality sooner rather than later. So as I've discussed in that video and then previous ones as well, we're gonna be seeing more and more of a transition for these companies from regular combustion engines to hybridizations and then to fully electric. So I wouldn't be surprised if you're gonna be seeing a DS electric SUV for sure. Obviously the design language sometimes changes a little bit, but the foundational framework should be there, and in my opinion this is one of the more beautiful concepts or actual SUVs that I've seen. And as I mentioned, guys, Citroën isn't very popular in North America, more of a European brand, but this DS model is essentially the Genesis to the Hyundai. And if you guys aren't aware, Hyundai and Genesis, Hyundai owns Genesis, and Genesis is just revealing their luxury SUVs as well after some successful runs with luxury SUVs under the Hyundai Palisade name as well. So again, it's going to be interesting to see if any of these cars or SUVs make their way to North America. I spoke on the notion that the DS9 could actually make its way there due to the fact that it does have an appealing drivetrain with the hybridization and a capability to go a good amount of speed and mileage without actually consuming any of the gas. And moving forward onto this actual SUV, sitting on a massive 23-inch wheel set featuring an intricate aerodynamically optimized design, the DS Aero Sportlange has been heavily sloped roofline to give the sensation of a swoopy coupe. Again, similar design language to the Jaguar F-Pace, but more pronounced in terms of that actual slant. The traditional grille you'll find on a car powered by a combustion engine has been replaced by a screen surrounding the prominent DS automobiles logo that lights up just so you know for sure what you're looking at. Sleek headlights benefiting from the Matrix LED technology further contribute to the concept's avant-garde look. So again, I see this DS in the middle, and it's very bright and it looks futuristic. I really like that. And under there, it also says DS Automobiles, which is essentially the brand name. I really like this futuristic look, but at the same time, it does look like a realistic car. And motivation for the polarizing SUV is provided by an electric motor developing an amazing 671 horsepower, which enables it to go 0 to 62 miles per hour in just 2.8 seconds, guys. The electric motor feeds on a large 110 kilowatt battery mounted on the floor with enough juice for an impressive range of more than 404 miles, which is 650 kilometers. So again, guys, these are both amazing figures. Obviously with concept cars, they're just estimations and predictions, because a lot of the actual feasibility and production intricacies and details aren't really sorted out. It's just essentially a prediction. But if they're actually able to deliver a 671 horsepower SUV that's capable of going 2.8 seconds 0 to 60 or 0 to 100 time with a 650 kilometer or 404 mile range, I will be mightily impressed. And that is actually going to be competing directly with any North American all-electric vehicle as well. So I would not see a reason why DS and Citroën wouldn't venture their way into America, Canada, and other markets like that, Mexico, if they're actually having a top-of-the-line SUV. And while images of the concept's cabin are not available at the moment of this video, DS Automobiles says that it has reinvented the interior to create a machine to travel in. The company goes on to mention that there are screens hooked up to the exterior cameras to replace the conventional side mirrors. Obviously, I made a video on the Audi e-tron S, which is essentially incorporating this technology to this day already. So obviously that's another exciting thing, just to show the technological advancement of these cars. As well, there are additional displays for each occupant. In addition, the infotainment system benefits from haptic control technology to make you feel like you're touching shapes and textures in a completely empty space. So again, obviously electrification is appealing, not only due to the fact that it's more sustainable, environmentally friendly, and in the long run probably more cost effective and less expensive. But another thing is that honestly the whole experience of driving, it's going to be reimagined, much more technologically advanced, making it smoother, more convenient, and probably safer as well. So that's what I'm most excited about as well. Not only do we have all this, I really see a beautiful car here that a lot of people would love to drive. So PSA's premium division will have the DS Aero Sport Lounge on display at the Geneva Motor Show alongside the DS9 beginning March 3rd. And while the concept isn't destined to enter production, Beatrice Fouché, CEO of DS Automobiles, does hint something similar is in the works. So if we present a concept bearing a new bodywork shape with an interior in materials as original as they are luxurious with a firm commitment, it's because our projects in the field are already very advanced. Our growth shows that our customers are looking for this expertise and technology, and it's the reason DS Automobiles exists. So make a date over the coming months. I personally think we're going to be getting some iteration of this. Hopefully, for me, the main thing is just the beautiful design, and hopefully the performance predictions and statistics can live up to at least this level at some point in the coming years. But that's really it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching to the end of the video. Check out some of their content in the description below. Please subscribe if you haven't, and let me know your thoughts. Thanks for watching again, guys, and have a great day. Car Feed back again, bringing you guys another cool and interesting video. And today I want to talk about some of the new and exciting stuff that BMW is actually coming out with. And as we all know, BMW is signaling its intentions toward launching a fully electric X3 model, with the concept iX3 debuting at the Beijing Motor Show earlier last year. The styling takes after the conventionally powered crossover that is obviously one of the most popular models that BMW has, but there obviously are some changes that set it apart, and obviously by the time it's actually fully integrated into the lineup, I think they will have some noticeable or more modern design cues, given the fact that it is fully electric and it is going to be coming in the future. So obviously keeping the same design cues would be a little bit more boring. But including some of these specific details, seeing as we did see the actual car concept being revealed, so we can expect to see something quite similar to that. New look of the closed off kidney grille with blue accents is the same vein as the iVision Dynamics has, but itself is another concept bound to become an all-electric production model known as the i4. So in terms of the actual front grille, which is one of the most notable things that BMW has sort of evolved with over the years, it does look a little bit smaller than some of the newest BMWs, but then again it looks a little bit cooler because it is closed off due to the fact that it is an electric car. More blue accents can be noticeable on the front fascia along the side skirts as well as the back of the diffuser. Same thing goes. As for the body itself, BMW decided to go with a moonstone silver shade featuring a matte finish, while the wheels were designed with an aerodynamic efficiency in mind. The iX3 benefits from BMW's 5th generation electric drive system and offers an output of 270 horsepower. Thanks to a large battery pack featuring a capacity of more than 70 kilowatts, the electric crossover SUV can cover more than 250 miles, which is 400 kilometers between charges, as per the new and more realistic worldwide harmonized light vehicles test procedure WLTP cycle, which actually takes into account and actually tests the standards and predictions that car manufacturers have, so sort of makes them be more true to their word and true to what they're conveying in advertising at car shows and to their customers in advertising. And if you're in a hurry, the BMW can be connected to a fast charging station that generates up to 150 kilowatts to reduce the time necessary to fully recharge the high voltage battery to just 30 minutes. Needless to say, the iX3 is only a concept for the time being, and as such you can't buy it, but hopefully the production version coming in 2020 will carry over this feature. And as I'm going to talk about later in the video, they're already being starting production in the next coming months, so I can expect maybe 2022, 2023, maybe a little bit afterwards, that they will actually hit the market, but more on that in a minute. A year later, BMW will introduce the iNext, set to serve as the company's flagship EV with a rumored range of 430 miles, which is very good, 700 kilometers, as well as an advanced autonomous driving system. In terms of what we've got for the new and updated, it's going to be going into production in 2020, as I mentioned, and the confirmed amount of range is 273 miles. And after unveiling in the Concept iX3 event at the April 2018 auto show, BMW has been hard at work developing the production version of this all-electric crossover SUV, as I mentioned, the X3 being one of their most popular models. The Bavarian company has finally confirmed some of the technical details of the vehicle, that it's set to reach assembly lines sometime in 2020 for the world market by the joint venture BMW Brilliance Automotive in Shenyang, China. First and foremost, as I mentioned, the production IS3 will use a 74 kilowatt battery, which will ensure zero-emission SUV can travel more than 273 miles, which is 443 kilometers, on a single charge. Bear in mind that this measure is measured by the WLTP cycle, which means the EPA rating will be slightly lower. Power will be provided by BMW's 5th generation eDrive electric powertrain system, and the automaker is proud to announce all powertrain components will be used for it that were developed solely by the German manufacturer. The technology is scalable in terms of power and energy content and can thus be used in various different vehicles, concepts, and segments. So this obviously gives BMW the ability to not only manufacture it in-house, maintain and assure the quality of these parts and technologies, but also be able to apply it to all their different models, which will not only save money on manufacturing, but also allow them to invest it into more innovation and improvements, rather than just focusing on cutting costs and outsourcing the manufacturing of these parts to, let's say, somewhere cheaper, not being stereotypical, but it's generally in China, and that way it's difficult for them to actually, sometimes Mexico, sometimes it's difficult to actually ensure the quality of their parts, or then there's not as much continuity as if the parts were actually developed in their own facilities. So I think this is a big positive in a long-term outlook for BMW. And as far as the iX3's output is concerned, BMW says that it will deliver a peak power of 286 horsepower and an instant torque of 295 pound-feet, which is 400 newton meters. The power is generated by a single electric motor, which is contrary to what we've previously been reporting, but it will drive the rear wheels only. We doubt that there won't be an all-wheel drive variant, but at least for now, there's no official word on it. So then again, if people do want this all-wheel drive system, they're going to have to wait for the BMW iX3. Then again, it's different in terms of the driving experience that you will see with an actual electric vehicle. 295 pound-feet of torque is instant, and it's not gradual as it is on a regular gasoline combustion engine. BMW is especially proud of the car's lower power consumption of less than 20 kilowatts per 62 miles, 20 kilowatts per 100 kilometers as well. That's the equivalent, which allows for the use of a relatively compact battery pack. With the launch of the all-electric iX3, the X3 will become the brand's first model available with both conventional gasoline and diesel engines, as well a plug-in hybrid and purely electric drive. So obviously they're giving you guys the best of all four of the worlds, and I think this is the smartest way to sort of transition their cars, or at least the most popular ones in the beginning, to electric, by not just fully shutting off the fact that people still are going to be wanting, let's say, a gasoline engine or a hybrid, but they're going to be slowly integrating the option to have the all-electric edition as well. So BMW obviously previewed not only the iX3 but also the i4 and the iNext, all EVs that it's going to be sort of taking on one car from each of their segments to have an electric vehicle for that. And then there's going to be the hybrids, the gasolines, and the diesels. And then slowly as time goes on, my prediction over the next 3 to 5 to 7 to 10 years, we're slowly going to see less and less of the actual gasoline ones being produced, and even more of the electric vehicles coming into fruition depending on where the demand heads, because it's not guaranteed that the same cars that are in demand now for the BMW will be the same cars moving forward. But in terms of that BMW iNext or the BMW i4, I think they're sort of maybe based on the M4 or something of that nature. So that's obviously one of the other most popular cars for BMW. So I think they're taking their flagship models and sort of slowly transitioning to a full electric powertrain, and hoping that that catches on with the customer base and consumer base, while also providing the alternative with the other cars. But that's it for today, guys. Let me know what you guys think on the preliminary design and concept look of the BMW iX3. In my opinion, I think it's a little bit of a good modern twist in terms of the actual powertrain and capabilities that are forecasted. Let me know your thoughts. How is it going to compete with the competition we know of today, given the fact that there isn't much? Will it be better than a Tesla? Will it hold its ground? What about the Audi e-tron? Those are all questions that we don't know exactly, but let me know your thoughts down below. Thank you guys so much for watching to the end of the video. Stay tuned for more cool content and have a great day. Hey, what is going on, guys? Car Feed back again, bringing you guys another cool and exciting video. And I already made a video on this car actually a bit earlier before the official reveal actually happened. But just to give you guys a quick update on the news and updates that have occurred on Fisker's Ocean electric crossover that made its exciting debut yesterday. And essentially the startup firm has moved in fits and starts, but now says that the Ocean will reach select consumers beginning in 2021 with a starting price of $37,500 US. And just to give you guys a summary of what the few points of emphasis are from this debut, the Fisker Ocean electric crossover made his debut today in Los Angeles in a presentation helmed by Hendrik Fisker himself, who emerged from the trunk of the car, and the company is taking $250 deposits to reserve one via an app. The Ocean will start at $37,500 as I mentioned, and Fisker boasts the Ocean will go from 250 to 300 miles per charge. The company offers a subscription plan at $379 a month, including 30,000 miles a year, plus service and maintenance that can be canceled at will. So that's a cool little feature that I'm going to talk a little bit more about in a second. But essentially, obviously, we have the traditional payment models of just paying the upfront cash amount when you're buying a car, or you can have a lease. But this is a little bit of a different maybe way about it, because maybe the subscription model won't be as heavy on the charges or as expensive, given the fact that Fisker might be assuming or predicting that his car's longevity will be a lot longer. So whether this person wants to actually subscribe and use the car is not that big of a deal for him, because I guess the next person will be for years to come. And the Fisker Ocean is expected to reach its customers first in 2021, but for the most part starting in 2022. And in my opinion, I think it's going to be definitely 2022, 2023, given that many problems arise in the production of new vehicles, and there's obviously going to be some sort of delay, whether it be not minor or major is to be seen, but I think nonetheless 2022 is a safer bet. And as I mentioned, it's been nearly a year since Fisker started teasing the Ocean SUV, and although it wasn't formally named until October, and now the Fisker Ocean has been unveiled to the public, fully revealing the sleek and sporty stature of the all-electric SUV with a starting price point of $37,500. Not a bad price in my opinion, but then again, I'm not sure how it's going to be performing. The Ocean is the first in a trio of electric vehicles that Fisker says it has planned for the coming years, with production of this crossover beginning in the second half of 2021. Most customers will receive the vehicle in 2022, those probably that have pre-ordered it. And Henrik Fisker said at the Ocean's debut, it is set to have a range of up to 300 miles enabled by an approximately 80 kilowatt battery, and at that range, along with the starting price of less than $40,000, it's set apart from the luxury competitors such as the Jaguar I-Pace and the Audi e-tron in both price and range. It costs just over $1,000 more than the Tesla Model 3. Then again, obviously in terms of price competitiveness, these predicted prices are pretty solid. They're definitely in the range of what the market can offer at this moment. But again, I'm not sure how quality wise the car will fare, let's say in the interior, because I do know that the Jaguar I-Pace and the Audi e-tron both have pretty exquisite interiors that are high quality and higher end. So I'm not really sure how the Fisker Ocean will do in that sense, but if it does have an interior with good quality and technology and things of that nature, such as the Tesla and the Jaguar and the Audi, as they all do, I think it'll be a very interesting scene in terms of the electric SUV market. And in the Ocean unveiling, details were not shared as to which features are standard and which are optional in the upcoming electric crossover, which is another important notion that we should keep in mind, given that $37,000 might be the starting price that includes very basic features. So then again, if you want to actually take the car to an on-par level to some of the competitors, it might be significantly more than that, but then again, I hope not. Nonetheless, the vehicle offers what is called California mode, and I think this is essentially one of the ways that they want to sort of differentiate themselves from the rest of the cars, but also use it as a little bit of a marketing strategy, given the fact that they're hoping a lot of their consumer base is actually based in California. So people that want a little bit more of an outdoor lifestyle in California, going to the beach, surfing, whatnot, they're probably going to be interested in this California mode. Essentially, it's a mode in which all windows are rolled down, including the ones between the B and C pillars and the back window, and essentially it's going to be capable of storing large surfboards, materials, and things of that nature. And the fastest powertrain configuration will bring the vehicle from 0 to 60 miles per hour in a claimed 2.9 seconds, and other configurations will allow buyers to choose between 2 and all-wheel drives. In terms of the interior of the Ocean had not yet been seen before this debut in Los Angeles, revealing quite a simplistic design. A white suede-like material runs the length of the dashboard, which also features a large touchscreen. The exact size was not actually revealed, but just below the screen there are 5 buttons pictured below in the video, which allow quick access to 5 functions, these being fan speed, cabin temperature, and volume. The instrument panel is displayed on a small screen behind the steering wheel. There are 2 wireless chargers and a heads-up display, which Fisker says can display lyrics as a song is playing. Fisker hinted at an autonomous feature in the car when he pointed out the radar in the front grille, but didn't really expand on the capabilities of the system just yet. So given the fact that we did receive quite a brief view of the actual interior and the technological features, it's really difficult to say what exactly it is and how it compares to what we see on the market now. But I can say that the screen does look a lot smaller, so I'm not sure if it's going to be having as many capabilities and things of that nature, let's say to Tesla, who has that giant screen, which is essentially a large computer that you can literally do anything on, movies, GPS. Obviously this is going to have GPS and things like that, but I'm not sure how well. And then obviously Fisker, like I mentioned, he did hint at an autonomous feature in the car, given the fact that there is a radar in the front grille. But is this going to be fully autonomous? There's obviously different tiers of autonomous capabilities, and most of the cars, such as Tesla, obviously have full autonomous capabilities. If this is just like an adaptive cruise control feature, obviously that's still very useful, but then again, at the same time, I don't think it is really on par with what is on the market today. But once again, there is time. I think there's going to be more reveals from Fisker to keep you guys excited, keep us all excited in terms of what we can actually expect from the technology, interior wise, and things of that nature. But nonetheless, the company is currently taking $250 deposits on the Ocean, and it'll offer $379 per month subscription plans for the vehicle, which it says can be canceled at any time. The deal requires an upfront payment of $3,000 in the style of a vehicle lease, and it includes a general allowance of 30,000 miles a year plus paid service and maintenance. So as I mentioned, it does have a similar setup to, let's say, the traditional lease plan that you get in a car, but at the same time it's a little bit better because it's only a small upfront payment, and then after that you only have to pay $375 per month, but also aren't locked into a larger time frame. You can actually cancel it whenever you wish to do so. And that deal alone should get us some extra consideration for people who may not otherwise feel like early adopters to flock to the Fisker name, which has been associated with a lot of bold projects that have obviously not yet reached fruition. Obviously, the car game is not a very easy one to succeed in, and startups obviously do come into problems and sometimes fail. And obviously, there's been some cases in the past where Fisker didn't really complete or really go to the end on some projects in terms of electric cars and sports cars, but nonetheless, this seems exciting and more promising than that. And I think this payment structure is really enticing for people who are maybe on the fence of trying an electric car. It's really not that much money in terms of the subscription-based plan. If you want to try it out for a year and whatnot, I think it's going to be quite exciting. Or if you want to buy it, it's still a pretty decent looking price. But that's it for today, guys. Just wanted to bring you guys what we saw from the reveal, everything we know essentially so far about the Fisker Ocean electric crossover SUV. Let me know your thoughts down below on the design, on the interior, what we know so far, and essentially just the car as a whole. Thank you again.